Hello everybody, welcome back to Let's Play Hearthstone for the New Order Germany. Let us continue off where we last left off. So, we have effectively won the South African War. I mean, we probably could have maybe taken a little bit more territory. But I mean, the public was upset. We were able to secure ourselves an ally in the region. Overall, things are looking up, for sure. You're basically all done researching. Engineering is basically done for now. What do we have in here? 1970, 66? I mean, 66 ain't that far off, so you know what? I will take it. Motorized Division will send you guys up towards the north. And I don't need to siphon funds. We're at 25% here. Provide training. The decay is not increased yet at all. And how many we're getting? Ooh, 1.53. Well. All of those numbers, I'm saying, looking pretty goddamn good. Okay, is there anyone else that we're close to? I mean, the slave plantations are never going to support us. We can maybe try you. Because as they boost our own loyalty, we get +2, and I think they each get -1. But if I can get everybody in Germany to support my backing, well. Italy declared war on Eritrea. Oh, Ethiopia is completely exploded. That's fine. I'm not too worried about what the Italians are going to do. I mean, they've already lost their support in Hungary. Like, it's humiliation for them more than anything. So let them have their little war in Eritrea. George Wallace has been inaugurated as President of the United States. That, I'm just going to say that seems bad. But that's okay. Italian-Eritrea War, the Algerian War. Italy's actually got themselves involved in many conflicts. Because you're not fascist, you're paternalist. You're a Dixiecrat. Now, I guess you still are not... Okay, Hungary side with us, absolutely, obviously. Did you join my faction, Hungary? You have! Well. Well, let's deploy you on the border with Croatia. And does the next game play out between either Romania, maybe Serbia? Well, Serbia's socialist. I don't see how any of us would like them, to be honest. But overall, I'm still may okay with how that's gone for us. Okay, the riot is going to go on. We get more stability here. We've almost recovered from the Civil War, and I'm a big fan of that, of course. We got more unassigned divisions. We'll send you over to Sweden. Again, I'm not really thinking we're going to go to war with Sweden, but it's just something that we need to, in the back of our mind, just make note of. Explosive reactive armor. I mean, that sounds pretty cool. And I think we want to start seeing our political power to get the next level of the pack going. The anti-Hutu cabal. The shield broken. Today, the Commissar of the colonies has received a heavily encrypted message from one of the former colonial administrators in Central Africa, who managed to escape from the newly proclaimed Reichsstadt. Despite our demands for answers, he has given us little information apart from the message itself, and then disappeared, saying that he didn't want to see anything like what he had seen in the days of the coup. After decoding the cipher, we understood why the man was so secretive, and the message was so potentially dangerous to bear. Claiming to represent a small clique of officers and bureaucrats who still serve the true German government, even while trapped within Hutig's hellish realm, Kai Hull von Hessel, self-appointed leader of the anti-Hutu cabal, asked for funds and reinforcements prepared for the ground for a counter-coup, promising to re-establish German rule in the African colonies after the madman has been deposed. Our advisors are extremely skeptical about their chances of success, but they urge us to support them. Everyone knows that Hutig's dream of racially pure Africa will end up in a nightmare of unimaginable proportions, and according to them, when this happens, the cabal could strike swiftly, securing at least some of the land allowed to return to the Dark Continent. Despite the little chance of success, this is still an endeavor we're trying. There are no risks, as someday the Reichsstadt will surely collapse, with or without our intervention. And when this happens, we have a loyal administration in charge of even a small part of Africa will be enough to justification for the reestablishment of a permanent and most lucrative presence in these resource-rich lands. So you have formed yourself one massive... You're a puppet of this guy. So you formed one massive Africa. How could you possibly think this is going to work out for you? I don't know. But let's increase our strength by +10. Let's provide some training here as well. Overall, this seems pretty good for us. Well, maybe it's good. I don't know. That much I don't really know. But, like, how is this government going to survive? Like, realistically. Devastation Stage 1, the African Triumph, Legacy of the Traitors. Are you the Burgundian system? No, you are still National Socialist. But you're like the extremist end, which is saying something. How many points? We have 7 points. Okay, not great yet. But we will surely be able to fix that soon enough. Betrayal on all fronts. The Air Bombardment's office was dense with a haze of cigarette smoke as Walter Howell stood suffering through the foul-smelling air produced by his Fuhrer. He attempted to continue his briefing, halting occasionally to release a much-needed cough. And mein Fuhrer, it is believed that Reichskommissar Schneck has not so unfortunate as the Reichskommissar Müller and intercepted communications from Central Africa aircrafts, which appear to insulate that the Southwest African Commissar was killed in Boschestadt. The Fuhrer once again did not reply, continued to stare at the wall with glazed eyes, moving only to establish his spent cigarettes and light another. Puupi could not help but complain to himself as he stood with uneasy silence. Was this the same man who, in whom the German people had placed their confidence? Howell would not be left long in his thoughts as the Fuhrer returned to his life. The Reich was built by fucking traitors. Even the halls of Germany has proven to be nothing but disloyal. Advent comes as no surprise to me. Would you like me to issue official condemnation? Howell's continued. Are relieved to be freed from the Fuhrer's awkward silence? Yes. Make it known that the traitors' adventurers such as Hutik have no place in my Reich. We'll continue to, we'll grant him his due punishment once the usurpers are dealt with. Berman finished, returning to his yet another cigarette. Right away, mein Fuhrer. He acknowledged for doubling back and exiting the smoke-choked room. How he rejoiced to finally escape that hazy office. So, is this considered a conflict? I guess not. But it is a foreign policy issue. So if you have 45 political power, we can obfuscate some spending for them as well. They're 33.8%. I'm not too sure exactly what number they need to be up to in order to... Iberia is going to gain control of Algeria. So Italy has lost the war in Algeria to the fucking Spaniards. Come on. How embarrassing is that, Italy? By the way, is my next great game ready to go? No, not yet. The Rodent. It took several hours for guards to finally report Muris' disappearance. Instead, they wasted their last hours pointing fingers over who might have helped the half-Jew, meaningless in the face of the clearance management from all sides. By the morning, an embarrassing report came with only a basic timeline. It must have happened like this. Emil Maurice had been placed under house arrest in a large home near Tulia, hoping to isolate the figure and deny him foreign capture escape. At 4 o'clock, he snuck out through the window and escaped on foot, at which point he stole a small vessel and departed towards unknown waters. It was deeply a desperate plan, the exact sort of which the effort which the guards should have easily stopped. Maurice's whereabouts were unknown. Milch, predictably, reacted poorly to the news. After arresting all the guards on the site, he called Germania, whose reaction was decidedly more muted. It was quickly deduced that Maurice had to have escaped to the SAF, and given his inept mode of escape, he likely did so without the official American ties. Instead, he needed to build an escape plan while in South Africa, a territory which German intelligence would certainly reach. In other words, it was a span of several months in which Maurice would be in foreign territory, likely poorly defended, and generally conspicuous. Provided his location was discovered, his disposal would be easy to follow. Emil Maurice is an American in captivity. Decisions in the Africa tab of the intelligence menu have been unlocked. We can act soon enough to be maybe able to preempt American action in his captivity. So that is not in the foreign policy tree. That is in the intelligence tab. Or maybe it's not. We have no spy master. Well, these are all unlocked, right? Oh, actually, nothing's been unlocked. I guess you go with the cryptology department? Sure. And let's send you to South Africa. It's in the intelligence. Production. Not in the decisions. Where is the intelligence button? That I don't know, to be honest with you. The intelligence... Like, I would have expected it would be in the intelligence agency. Infiltrate airfields, infiltrate the navies. I don't know... I don't know where that is. To be honest with you, I have no clue. Okay, Italy has defeated Eritrea. Not, like, super surprising for sure. Italy's clear war in Ethiopia. That's fine. Clear war in Somalia. Sure, you know, go ahead, man. Manage subjects. Occupy territory? Foreign policy. Economic policies. Assorted laws. Can't change anything here. Not in you. Is it in the operatives map mode? No. It's not going to be in the ledger. I do not know what tab they're even talking about, to be quite honest with you. I have no idea. Italy is now declaring war on basically everybody in the Horn of Africa, which I mean, understandable. Maybe between episodes, I'll look up how to actually interact with that stuff, because I don't know where it is. Because it's not in here. Construction, it's not a production thing. It's not in logistics. Like, again, you'd think it would be in here somewhere. Troborov. Here are your notes, mein Führer. Gerald Kofler panted, handing Bormann a wad of paper. Bormann snatched them away and wiped the sweat from his forehead. Your speech will be excellent, as usual. Stop fawning, Bormann snapped. You try to slow his breathing. The entirety of the Reichstag waited the words. I cannot give a speech to save my life. One more thing, my Führer, Kofler continued hesitantly. We just received a report from Heinrich Müller and the Ortspolice. Joseph Trevorov has been located and arrested. What are your orders? Bormann tore his eyes from the speech and curled his lips. Trevorov, that little rat. The man dismantled Reich Commissar Norwegian and sent the garrison fleeing back to the Reich. Trevorov and the most of the garrison had fought on the side of Bormann. It was true, but the rest had split to aid the other contenders. He's betrayed the Reich, hang the bastard. Or he came to my aid. He'll be stripped of his titles, but we will pardon him. Because I'm not... That seems kind of like a nice thing to do. Maybe I shouldn't be nice. I don't know. Maybe I made a mistake that... I've been too nice to people. Okay, let's bolster anti-Hutic factions. Let's give them more equipment as well. And with 42 political power, I guess we can spend that... Well, the banks are allied to us now. We have exactly 60%. Was it you I was trying to get next? Maybe we need to get the people more on side. Ally control percentage 60%. So the people, numbering over 100 million, the Reich citizens have states, once of glory, Well, I mean, okay, the people support us. And that's really all I care about here. Okay, another division. We're going to send you over to blue. And what are you? You are... I think these are mountaineering divisions, which, I mean, I'm fine having them, for sure. Oh, so you can have 5 divisions? My man's very powerful. Yeah, can you dock here? I don't know what you're doing. The most dangerous issue. The Berg Creek ripped the fatherland apart limb from limb. Despite the fierce, selfless efforts to stitch the faction remnants of the Reich back together, there are some wounds that still fester. If they're not treated soon, the body of the Reich will atrophy, and we may collapse into chaos yet again. The men of the Weimar may have sworn their oaths of loyalty towards the new Führer, but not all have sought to align themselves fully behind his wisdom. A faction of military reformists have consolidated around Heinz Spiegel, advocating for a total reinvigoration of the Weimar, including a complete overhaul of military strategies and a professional reduced draft. On the other hand, the spectrum, Fernand Schoner has rallied his band of militarists, saber rattlers, who desire an increased draft and a political role for the Weimar. While Bormann would sooner trust a Swiss banker than these uniform weasels, the Reich's wound can only be healed with the support of one of 2 influential factions. The clock is counting down, and as time draws near, the Führer to grit his teeth and do a deal with the devil. Well, I'm going to say I'm probably going to lean more towards a small professional army versus increasing the draft. I guess we can go for another commander here. I'm going to throw you on the border in around St. Petersburg. I think that seems a-okay. 53%. We can fund you even more. Give them more money. We're going to decrease their things to give us more political power, which is okay. Meeting with the Weimar's leaders. Baron Bormann rubbed his eyes together in a deep sigh. The days seemed to stretch out longer as the weeks went by. There were moments, fleeting, insignificant, when he imagined himself retiring to bed early in the evening, released from the crushing burden of preserving the Reich. He stared at the moonlight streaming through the window, pooling across the floor towards his large oak desk. When was the last time he appreciated something as simple as a ray of moonlight? Heil Bormann! The sleepy voice snapped him out of his ridiculous thoughts. Heil Bormann replied gruffly down the phone. Herr Spädel, you're invited to a private meeting at the Reichskanal. I am willing to appoint a new chief of the OKW if a persuasive case is presented to me. Ferdinand has already agreed to join us. Luckily, Bormann thought, Schkoinder's voice, as first so smug and satisfied with the invitation, had begun to radiate fury the moment Spiedel's name was mentioned. I understand my fear, Spiedel's fatigue. Mildly confused voice came after a brief pause. Heil Bormann. Bormann pushed the phone down with a grunt, and once more his eyes drifted to the luminescent puddle, transforming the ugly pattern of the rug into something surprisingly beautiful. Bormann pushed himself out of the chair, crossed the room, and flicked the light switch on. The moonlight vanished in an instant. He returned to his desk, picked up a pen, and began to scribble. There's no time for such childish distractions. Bormann had work to do. And I think with that, it's going to be a good time for to end off for today. So if you enjoyed, thumbs up. Not enjoying, thumbs down. You want to see more, subscribe, and goodbye.